What is going on, guys? It's Kuyonn, and I'm back finally making another video, a commentary about the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare rebooted. Now, I think it's no surprise that a majority of people think this game is, at least for the multiplayer side of things, a lot of people think this game's pretty dog ass, and I would tend to agree with them. I'm not a huge fan of the multiplayer, and this is kind of a video, just a response video to Infinity Ward, why your multiplayer doesn't work the way you think it does. And I don't want to diminish the value of game development. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes of game development, but, and I'm going to sound like an asshole here, but it comes from a place of playing Call of Duty for so long that this isn't working, and whatever vision you've had or you have for this game needs to be put into a different perspective. And the lack of communication and the lack of forethought into things, simple things like making Ghost actually work instead of making it a camper's perk, it's frustrating. And it comes off as, you know, I don't want to say arrogant, but it comes off as like our vision for this game, for this multiplayer, is better than community feedback. But community feedback is what drives the game to be better. That's why you have nerfs, buffs, you know, weapon balancing, balancing it all, or even map balancing like in World War II. But everyone's complaints or criticisms, you know, whether they're valid or not, but which, you know, hopefully you're giving constructive, valid criticism. If you're raging about it on Twitter, that's something completely different. But when it comes to like sending death threats to the devs, I don't condone that. I know the Call of Duty community is some of the most toxic shit ever. I know we're better than that, for one. So don't fucking do that. Don't be an idiot, you know. But moving past that, because it's been talked about. Infinity Ward, ordinary and vulnerable, doesn't work in a Call of Duty game. It's that simple. And the biggest evidence of that is World War II. World War II had one of the roughest launches for a Call of Duty game, and the multiplayer was widely criticized for a very long time. Rightfully so. I was content with the game. I didn't mind the multiplayer. It did get a little annoying when the only two weapons being used were the bar and the PPSH, but I could still play it. It was still tolerable. But when Glenn Schofield and Michael Condrey left, and the new community manager came in, I know his name is Aaron, I don't remember his last name, so that's my B. But World War II got overhauled in April, and it made the game so much better, and I think it's easily one of the best current-gen Call of Duties out there right now, along with BO3, even though everyone has their grievances with BO3, obviously, but I still think BO3 and World War II are fantastic fucking games to be playing right now. Especially World War II. It is way better than it was at launch. Way better. And they added shit like specialists and just fun perks to use. My hat's off to Sledgehammer and Aaron for completely changing World War II and making it the game that it is now. Because it is fucking fun. It's fun to play. Yeah, you're gonna have your infuriating deaths. Like, you know, what's Call of Duty without infuriating deaths, you know? But World War II absolutely blew me away with how they redefined the multiplayer. And that's fucking awesome. It's awesome that they were willing to recognize that ordinary and vulnerable doesn't work, and that they went crazy and they added cool camos. Granted, a lot of them were just palette swaps. But they finally added crazy, ridiculous camos that are not grounded in reality, which is fucking sick. Granted, I know a lot of people don't like the like crazy, cartoony camos, but anything's better than woodland camo in 50 different shades. Like, me personally, anyway. So when I see shit like we're trying to go back to ordinary and vulnerable with Modern Warfare, we've been down this route before, and there's really no need to be. We have evidence. There's proof, there's wide community feedback that it doesn't work, and it's happening again with this. And to know that there was either no overhaul in place, According to the Gaming Revolution source, which I do believe there was an Overhaul in place, I don't think he would lie about that. I don't think he would have coin flipped basically on the game getting an overhaul to risk his reputation as a credible leaker, so I don't think he lied about it at all. I do think Joe Seacott saying that it was a lie for attention is kind of just his way of distancing himself from it actually being a reality. There probably was an overhaul in place, but they have a vision for the game, and that vision is shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Your vision for this multiplayer is fucking baby piss, and it needs to be scrapped. And one thing about the multiplayer is ordinary and vulnerability. You need to take out leaning, you need to take out mounting, because it's just tools to help campers. You need to nerf overkill, first of all, for balancing. You need to fix ghost, because 90% of the lobbies are either it's just mostly, it's ghost and overkill. Those are the two perks that run this show. Ghost, overkill, and dead silence, because no one can run dead silence as a perk. Which, I don't really care about dead silence as a perk. I don't know, that's just me. I don't really have an opinion one way or another on it. But I can respect wanting to have a vision of the multiplayer. You know, when you have all this creative ideas, or when you have all these creative ideas, you have a creative flow, you have a creative process, you have a vision. And in your mind, that vision, you know, everyone's gonna love it, it's gonna fucking blow people away. But it hasn't. And I just don't know what you guys were thinking when you were developing this game. And it honestly just feels like it's Ghost 2 with the MW notoriety slapped on the case. It really does. And I think the biggest problem, at least for the multiplayer side of things, Spec Ops can go fuck itself. I can't believe that's even on the same disc. That whole mode can eat a dog dick. Multiplayer, you need to get rid of skill-based matchmaking entirely. It's not a debate. You need to get rid of your MTX matchmaking. Prestigious Key talked about this in a video. I'll link it down below. But it appears to be there is, if you buy stuff in the store, like blueprints and all that, you'll get into lobbies with worse skilled players comparatively, so that everyone can see what you're spending money on, which I absolutely believe is in the game. I wouldn't put it past them, because I myself have experienced this with Black Ops 3. When, like, during, maybe the next game had already even been out by then, but it's like towards the end of the life cycle for BO3, it came out that Activision filed a patent for lobbies and DLC weapons, and that it may actually even be in BO3. And I loaded up an alt account on BO3 and did some comparing and contrasting, and holy fuck, the amount of DLC weapons I would run into on my alt account that's never played the game before, it's ridiculous, and it was absurd. I'd encounter like 1 or 2 DLC weapons, you know, because everyone like got a free one at some point during that game's life cycle. But it's like almost like the enemy team was comprised of people who had the most common one I saw was the XMC for sure, and I don't know why. It would seem like the XMC was everywhere, but then I would go back to my main and it'd be like, oh, you know, there's like a Galil here and there. It was bizarre. So I wouldn't put it past that the MTX microtransaction matchmaking is in this game as well, to entice players. Oh, like, oh, he has a cool gun or camo or whatever, let's pair him up with these assholes. So I'll link Prestige's video in the description. Highly recommend you watch it. It's actually very interesting, but I absolutely believe it's in the game. But Infinity Ward, you can't make your game grounded in reality and ordinary and vulnerable and pretend to be like Rainbow Six Siege and Battlefield. And Call of Duty outsells Battlefield every fucking year, except for Battlefield 1, I think, because everyone was tired of future shooters. Why would you try to be like your competitor that undersells you every fucking time? Make Call of Duty Call of Duty. You can take inspirations, you can kind of, you know, borrow this system, make it your own, you know, that's cool. That's what you did with Specialists. You borrowed supers from Destiny, you made it the Call of Duty, made it into the Call of Duty way, and Specialists in Black Ops 3 were fucking awesome. They were fucking annoying in BO4 and made the multiplayer borderline unplayable. But you nailed it in BO3. Yep, you hit it on the head. So it just gets really annoying because we've been down this path before. This shouldn't be a topic of discussion in 2019 with Call of Duty, where it's still just like, oh, I feel like I'm playing Battlefield, or I feel like I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege. It's ridiculous. So, get rid of skill-based matchmaking. Nerf the M4 again, good lord. Buff, like, almost every SMG. Buff the pistols a little bit. Not, you don't want to be like Black Ops 2, like TAC 45 status, but and more importantly, just don't make camping the primary strategy or the primary playstyle. It is damn near impossible to run and gun in Modern Warfare as it stands, because you also don't know how to design maps properly. I don't know who signed off on Piccadilly, but they need to be reprimanded. Okay? Piccadilly, Ass Hair Cave, what the fuck? And even maps like Shoot House, where, yeah, it's chaotic 3-lane fun, the spawns are still pretty fucking ass half the time, especially in headquarters. So I don't know what the fuck is happening there, and then you take a map like Crash and then put in a safe space head glitch for no goddamn reason. So I don't know what the fuck is happening there. But ordinary and vulnerability just doesn't work in Call of Duty. It doesn't. You know, MW3 might have been it might have been in the modern era, but Modern Warfare 3 was anything but ordinary and vulnerable. You were a Super Saiyan with specialists. There was the no-skill multi-kill stealth bomber in the support package. Again, whoever signed off on that is a fucking mad lad. You need this overhaul desperately. I could care less about the minimap. If the minimap comes back to its classic way, I won't give a fuck. If it promotes moving around, bring it back. I have no differing opinions on some of the shit they did, like Dead Silence minimap. It's whatever. But you can't say that this game caters to all playstyles where camping is the only beneficiary, really. Even in Ground War. Which, by the way, why don't snipers in Ground War have bullet drop at all? You should add that. Like, yesterday. To make Ground War even more fun. Because snipers dominate Ground War. And without ballistic and bullet drop, kind of broken. Kind of broken. But I find it extremely annoying when they say, like, I remember this thing where they were like, oh, we don't want, like, dark matter and diamond camo in the game. That's not realistic. But, again, if you go to Prestige's video, you can go into the shop and find a fucking anime girl camo on the Odin. So, what part of that is realistic? We can get, we get Damascus camo, which is wholly unworth it for the grind that you have to do for my gun to look blue and red. Like, I need to put my fucking 3D glasses on. And then Platinum, which is fucking awful. It was off. The Chrome was bad in World War II. Platinum is even worse, even after the update. Gold looks okay. I like gold in this game, but you can't say you want realistic camos, but then put the unrealistic and appealing shit behind a fucking paywall. That's fucked up. So you can't have well, the game is grounded in reality until you spend money on it. You can't make one half of your game ordinary and vulnerable, grounded in reality, and the other half not, just because you paid $20. So this is an open statement to Infinity Ward. Don't take this the wrong way. I appreciate you guys. I know I sound like an asshole. It's coming from a place of someone who's played Call of Duty for a long time. Who wants Call of Duty to be the best that it can be? I want to be able to play Call of Duty and have fun. That's what I did with World War II. That's what I did with BO3. That's what I did with Advanced Warfare, for Christ's sake. And Ghost. Ghost had one of the best DLC seasons besides Black Ops 2. The Ghost reimagining of Shipment was fantastic. I will defend Ghost multiplayer. Even IW Infinite Warfare's multiplayer was not nearly as bad as this. I would rather get lasered by the M4 every day of the week than try and tolerate playing on Piccadilly for 30 seconds. So don't take it the wrong way when I'm being sarcastic and being an asshole. That's part of, you know, who I am. Part of my character. But genuinely, I hope you do reconsider changing aspects of the multiplayer, changing maps, changing certain LOSs, lines of sight, for all you, for the uninitiated. I think Modern Warfare has the potential to be one of the best COD games on current gen consoles before Xbox Scarlet and like all that shit. The gunplay, the features, like the gunsmith and everything about the weapons, it's so intricate, it's so well done, and yet everything else that makes the multiplayer, it seemed to fall apart. And it seems that the weapons took the forefront, the animations, the customization, which is fine, but it seems that as a result, the maps have suffered because of it, and shit like leaning and mounting, giving you no recoil, the M4, which, you know, you could. I think even Joe Seacott said himself that like we want, you know, guns that outperform others in the meta. There's a difference between when the M4 is outperforming or like overperforming just a little bit in comparison to the meta of like, I don't know, the Odin or the FAL, which I can't believe you nerfed the FAL because of macro users instead of punishing macro users. Great one. You know, when the M4 is the meta, and it still fucking is. It still is the meta. It doesn't matter. You need to nerf it again. The 7.25 I think is in a better spot. I don't really see people running around with it too much. The R09 shotgun is better anyway. The Origin could use a buff though. You know, that's not overperforming. That is the meta, and it needs to be looked at. And then you're leaving stuff out of the patch notes, and it's up to the community to compile what's changed. Which I didn't even know how people figured out like half the shit that was changed. Yeah, we need more communication, first of all. Even if you're not going to change anything, state your reasons why. Yeah, sure, you might get backlash, but it's the internet, so you kind of have to expect it no matter what. You're not going to please everybody. And as long as people are at least semi-civil about it, that's all you can really hope for. But, like, if you're not going to make Dead Silence a perk, give your reasonings. Give a reason as to why, so people can at least get an understanding of where you're coming from. I saw this whole thing about a survey going around, or that's coming out, that Infinity Ward or Activision's giving to people. I guess because player numbers are dropping, maybe. That's why. The multiplayer, it's basically just made for a very small fraction of the community that plays that way, and punishes the majority of people who want to play Call of Duty with a running gun play style. The maps don't cater to that. The maps only feel like they're there for camping, to benefit campers, and to show off the new engine and their graphic fidelity. So I say to you, with an open heart and an open mind, if you don't fix the game, I get it, you have a vision, but you also have to accept community feedback into that vision, because there can be amend with both. And if you're not going to change anything, and you're just going to say, we have a vision, it comes off as disingenuous and a bit arrogant. Open a dialogue with the community, which hopefully this survey does, and you take back, you take into that feedback, and you put it towards something. Modern Warfare has the potential, and I know I feel like we said this everywhere, like, oh, it has the potential, but it's almost there. I genuinely feel that Modern Warfare has the potential to be one of, if not the best, Call of Duties on this generation. And instead of waiting like World War II before it's too late, start doing it now so you can reap the benefits now. If you do it now and you get more players back, you get more COD point sales, right? That's all for me. Just a few keynotes. Fuck skill-based matchmaking. And that whole thing that Respawn developer said. Fuck that. If skill-based matchmaking becomes the norm, multiplayer gaming is pretty much fucked, and it might die to a certain degree. Fuck Ghost. Fuck Overkill. Fuck the M4. Fuck the maps, and fuck the spawns. I'll see you later, guys. Peace. Hey, it's future Kuyonn editing this video because I forgot to throw in a proper outro. I actually don't know what I'm supplementing this gameplay with right now. I'm kind of just working on the audio. Which, by the way, sorry for my shit tier mic quality. I'm hoping to fix it soon. I honestly might just use Zombies gameplay from BO4 if I'm being honest, or like Dead by Daylight, because I don't have MW gameplay and I probably won't play it to just get gameplay. But if you like the video, drop a like, sub, all that stuff. Let me know what you feel about MW in the comments below. I know there's some people who genuinely enjoyed the game, and that's not to take away from your experience. I said this on Twitter. If you genuinely enjoy a game, you know, I may shit talk games or shit post a lot. Like, I talk the piss out of Life is Strange because I think it's a fucking shit game. But if you genuinely enjoy Life is Strange, that shouldn't take away from your experience. I don't think any less of someone who enjoys or thinks Life is Strange is a really good game because of it. If you like what you like, who gives a fuck? I like DMC Devil May Cry, and a lot of people fucking hate that game. So, if you genuinely enjoy the multiplayer, or, you know, the campaign, which the campaign is good, or Spec Ops, then I'm going to question you. You know, that's fine. If you enjoy the game, play it. But I would love to know your thoughts below. If you think it's a good game, tell me why. And, yeah, if you like the video, all that good shit, follow me on Twitter so you can keep up to date with my shit posts and whatnot. And, I will have a video out soon. It's going to be going over Dark Matter for BO4 Zombies, because I finally completed that, and then my lifetime stats and shit like that, because I'm level 400 and change. So, hopefully that'll be out by, like, Thursday, maybe? Wednesday? Maybe sooner. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you, Face. And be sure to let me know what you think of MW in the comments. Peace, guys.